A little bit. I have the Northam letter, which I'll read, and we have copies if y'all want to sign it. But whoops, thanks, Adrian. If y'all, we would invite everybody to say a few words if you would like to say something today, and we'll just go down the line.
The damage to our environment and to our communities across Virginia and the paths of these pipelines is totally preventable. Dr. Northam, as a pediatric neurologist, just imagine the neurology of the watersheds and the rivers and the streams as they head to the coastal plain. You're taking bulldozers and dynamite to the nervous system of our state. Shame on you.
I'm from a community in southwestern Virginia called Bent Mountain, and this is the last week that the Mountain Valley Pipeline has the availability to cut down trees. So we in that community are fully expecting a full-scale invasion of out-of-state employees and workmen for the Mountain Valley Pipeline coming through our community, through our private property, as much as they want to with their security guards. This is a complete invasion of our homes, our farms, our lives, and it is destroying my beautiful rural community of Bent Mountain, and it is inexcusable, because once those trees are cut and those bulldozers come in, that community will never be the same again. And if this is not prevented, it is your fault that this community is being destroyed.
Thank you for everyone coming out. Thank you once again to our brave tree sitters that are sitting out there. Prayers up for them and for all those who are on the front lines all over the state and in West Virginia and North Carolina. Shame on you, Dr. Northam, for damaging our community.
My heart goes out to all of those along the Mountain Valley Pipeline who have been suffering for years now in anticipation of just this decision. I believe we should challenge the governor and David Paler and Tom Farrell to actually witness firsthand the destruction of these communities that are going to be directly affected. Speak directly to landowners. Don't hide behind these walls in these private rooms. Come out and see the communities as you would a disaster site. Those photo ops that happen with disasters where the governor comes, this is what has to happen for this Mountain Valley Pipeline and all of the destruction that will happen as a result of it.
So part of the message that we're going to deliver to the governor today is contained in this letter. Thank you, Barb. Ralph Northam, we're contacting you again to ask that you step up for Virginia, for its waterways, its residents, its future, and against the Mountain Valley and Atlantic Coast pipelines. We ask that you exercise your authority over the MVP and ACP review processes. You let the public know with your February 14, 2017 letter to the DEQ that you recognize site-specific permitting would be the most thorough and transparent means in which to review the projects. The DEQ, under the less than watchful eye of former Governor McAuliffe, gave preference to pipeline applicants over the public, allowing years of meetings geared towards approval and mitigation and offering the Virginia public just 5 hearings. You, as a man of science, know that study, research, and data are the best means for determining potential outcomes. We can also use the existing data and visual evidence in other states where EQT contractor Precision Pipeline has been cited for violations and 3 other projects, or to the history of Dominion's lack of regard for our waterways, the Elizabeth River, the Quantico Creek, at every power station along the James River where coal ash water sloughs into the James. What a powerful and positive chance you have to make safety the main priority. Exercise your ability to do so. Governor Northam, keep your promises to protect Virginians, their property rights, their water, their environment. We ask you again to do the following. Direct the DEQ, who is not king, to give the State Water Control Board back their autonomy and give them the ability to review input over the erosion, sediment, and stormwater plans for the MVP. You did this behind their backs. You did this weeks ago and only announced it to, coincide with the petition drop? They do not have the legal authority to make the final decision. The DEQ does not. The Water Board should and asked for that. You need to reinstate their Water Board's ability to have input on the ACP plans too. They said this explicitly at the December 12th meeting. Halt the felling of trees along the paths. Do not allow under any circumstances felling past those deadlines. Rescind the memorandums of agreement that Governor McAuliffe signed with ACP and EQT that released them from monetary liability above the amounts of $27.5 million for the MVP and $58 for the ACP. These agreements were made without public notice. They don't provide funding for the localities along the pass. They were also made before final certification. Direct the DEQ to perform site-specific permitting. You said this yourself. You used it as a tool to convince people you were an environmentalist when you were running against Perriello. And let's look back to your own words. Prove it. Prove that you really care about this. Match your opposition to offshore drilling to another example of ruinous fossil fuel projects, the fracked gas, MVP, and ACP. The offshore drilling would affect your communities, and there is a potential pipeline coming down the eastern shore of Maryland and Virginia. Is that when you're going to care? When it's literally in your neighborhoods? Sever your relationship with the ACP applicant, Dominion Energy. There's only one way to protect Virginia and our water: stop the pipelines. So at this time, we're going to march over to the DEQ. Everyone's invited. We're going to bring the twins. We're going to bring the signs.
I'm going to push out one of our twins with David.